Welcome back, everybody, to Saturday. Championship bracket has started. We've seen some upsets already. We've had some fantastic games already, and we've got another one on the docket for you all. We heard it all from the analyst desk. It is Carnage Gaming versus Hive, and the only way you're going to get some of this high-intensity shotgun CQC action to get called correctly is going to be by my main man, PR, who is sitting that direction from me? Yeah, I did it first try. I didn't even need to try it. Woo.
I know how you feel sometimes when I'll be looking at my camera. I have to do one of these like, okay, which way is my finger? Okay, we got to go over here. But yeah, welcome to be here, man. One thing that I don't know if the analysts really touched on this too much, but I went ahead and tweeted out. This is not only the battle of these two teams, but this is the battle of best friends coming at it. A lot of you guys, if you guys watch Astro battles, Shock and Dyslexic. Dyslexic Kill, whatever you guys know them as, they're a duo, but they're on separate teams this time around. So not only are these teams fighting for their winners bracket lives, they're fighting for those bracket rights between, or those bragging rights between these two players. Because when this is all said and done, they're gonna go back into their Discord, they're gonna go back in their party chats, and they will not let the other person hear the end of it. So much is on the line besides this tournament itself. I'm excited to watch it. Besides, you know, I love to watch this kid Dyslexic go off on the side of Carnage Gaming. Our analysts had picked Hive, but I don't think it's gonna be that easy as they think it might.
Hey, look, like you said, there's already probably going to be some trash talk going on because of the fact that I think Shock has already tweeted out a player comparison of him versus Dyslexic, and then I think he photoshopped like SpongeBob shirt and like a beanie or a binky on him, and I think he tried to make Dyslexic look like a 2-year-old. And all I know right now is that if I was Dyslexic, I'd be sitting here going, I'm gonna beat that man up. That man's gonna catch hands at this point.
He's coming for their neck. This is personal now. And what a better person to start off with than Dyslexic. And look, he's already striking fear into the eyes of Hive, but it's actually just a strat recall, an adaptation of sorts off this initial. They see the opening for the neutral, and they're going to take it. And first blood as well, as Bgod goes down for Carnage Gaming.
And 2 downs already on the side of Hive, though, at the B hill. So the trade will come through in favor of Carnage. Carnage is going to be able to take over that B hill. They're going to be able to pull back just a little bit, but Dyslexic's going to get pushed. He's going to get taken down and out by Solurs. And I hate to say it, I still think Solurs is probably, I think people forget that he's probably still living and breathing one of the greatest players on the planet. You tell him to kill something, he will find a way to make that crap happen for you. Just check out how good he's been since his days back in UE when he won a championship with that old school, I think it was Denial was the roster he was still on, or was it Enemy that he was a part of with Explosive and Mental. And he hasn't really ever lost a step.
No, he has not. And I know the analysts were calling him something of Hoodie Mellow of sorts. Hoodie Solurs coming at him. He's able to get the downs. Teamwork coming at him. Revive coming through. Solurs going to take one to the chin for his teammate Shock. Unfortunately, he goes down either way. But it bought some team some time, some positioning, and 2 hills to boot. As you see, they have the win condition at the top of your screen. 60 seconds on these hills uncontested. They'll find themselves in the victory circle for round number 1. So it's going to be up to Carnage Gaming to make this push. They're going to start with up top, and honestly, if you're going to go from home hill to home hill or strike back at B, it does start with this up top. But now that you have it, you have to start making those rotations. And his timing is of the essence here due to those long respawn timers. So, Colin, if I had to guess, there would be one final push from Carnage here.
You see they pushed Xovios off the heaven spot. Good job from the overlook, but he's still got a lot of damage out. Demise over the flank. He's going to get shots in the back. He's going to have a down on Dyslexic, but the quick kill comes out from Shockwave. Now Shockwave and Dyslexic have an angle from behind. They're going to get back onto the B hill, go for the decap, which is what they have to do here. They have to get it back into their favor, maybe even get a decap at the C hill, because in 44 seconds, Hive is still going to come away with this round win, and I like this. It's evened up. I believe it's 4v4 across the map as Absenz and Demise have not spawned back in. They're going to use this Lancer angle on this back hallway to their advantage. Xovios couldn't get the finish right there, but they're going to continue to get downs and damage on these 2 players of Carnage. Keep them in check, which is exactly what they have to do. I believe it's going to be up to Tidy. He's going to have to hit Lancer shots because they are going to fly at Shock. Shock by himself at the home hill is going to have to play defender here, kind of like a middle linebacker. He's going to have to control the middle of the field and make sure nobody can get to that C hill, but see the decap coming through on B. The last gas, the last hope for Carnage in round number 1 has drifted away from them, and Hive will come away with a first round on the board.
And I love the way they did it from start to finish, Colin. At the very beginning portions of the game, Hive kind of sent 3 players over towards that U where typically you would have a fight, but they completely baited that one out. They instantly rotated back through the middle of the map. They went and took control of that neutral hill and got themselves an early lead. And then even when Carnage was doing their best to fight back, they got control of it. It was Hive who actually went ahead and went from home hill to home hill and forced a backtrack coming out from Carnage Gaming. So in round number 1, great strategies coming out from Hive, great rotations, and it comes down to utility grenades directly into the loadout.
Well, we're going to come here to the second round now. We're going to have, looks like, flashbangs on both sides of the map in the utility loadout for both teams, and now both teams are going to take over control of that B hill, or try to vie for control over that B hill. Xovios might be able to get this cap off and without going down, and he does in fact get it off, so that's going to allow them to get a little bit of a point lead coming up into this round, and he actually rotates out safely, doesn't even need to get revived here. Middle of the map, there is a down on Absenz, and he has to bleed himself out, which is going to keep the defensive stand of Hive pretty strong here for the early goings. First 20 to 30 seconds will be within their favor, and they will have a decent point lead going forward.
So we got to make sure when you're playing escalation at home, you got to make sure you take note of the time and almost all portions of the game. There's like 3 different phases of the game: the early game, the mid game, and the end game. Time is of the essence at almost mid and end portions of the game. But this fight up top, Dyslexic is going to get one with the help of Feint, but Demise is going to make that all come crashing down as he takes control of the up top overlook. That's going to give him the ability to Lancer down. Tidy's going to go for the cap on his down, but he gets cleaned up by Bgod. So it's going to be Carnage Gaming that have the positioning towards this neutral, but it's not going to be for free. You see Xovios, yeah, he's back. Noey is no more. The King Xovios showing his face, trying to make a name for Hive. He's going to be one of the only members defending here for just a moment. He's buying his team an ample amount of time to make this rotation come through.
One of the things that they're going to come away with in this setup is basically Hive has really shown me some improvements in how they play the setup game, how they're playing a little bit more defensively, how they're playing a little bit more together. We really didn't get to see the best of Hive, I think, during the Pro League, and I think we're seeing a lot better version of that squad here in this major. They've slowed down their rotations, they've slowed down how many engagements they take in the CQC section, and they're setting up a little bit more. They're lancering out for each other. They're making things harder on their opponents, and Carnage Gaming, who was one of our best teams in Pro League, is really struggling through these first 2 rounds. They're down by 50 points once again. We're going to get down under 30 seconds before the round win for Hive, before Carnage could really make its next move, and you see him stacked up across the map. The next move is probably going to come in the next 5 to 10 seconds. They're going to try to get some damage on at least one player to keep their head down, and then they're going to fly out. Dyslexic is actually trying to keep Xovios stuck in that corner, I believe, and not allow him to make any decisions or any quick movements out of that Heaven and God spot.
Yep. Doesn't really matter though. The Lancer fire from Hive is just too much. The angles, the rotations coming through. Dyslexic is not going to be able to slip past, and honestly, no one is, as Hive gets all the eliminations necessary but Shockwave, and with just a few seconds left to this one's over, it doesn't really matter because he's going to lose with the rest of his team nonetheless. So in this one, I feel like I got a little bit of deja vu what you were talking about there about Carnage Gaming, how they're one of the most dominant teams in the Pro League this season, surprising a lot of people, even myself. But they remind me of Fire and Ice during that last online major. They were Fire on the Pro League. They were taking some Emergence Day tournaments, but when that major came around, they were flat. They were not the same team that we known them to be, and Carnage Gaming is looking like the exact same thing is happening to them. They were Fire all Pro League, even in Emergence Days, become major. When the lights are on, the pressure is there. They're just not performing to the best of your ability. I want to see them pick it up here, and I want to see them pick it up in this round specifically with that drop shot in place.
Xovios up top in that overlook area. They're going to go for the snub fire, try to get at least one of these downs. You saw Feint trap. Excuse me. You see them in the overlook here. Absenz is going to get this kill here onto Xovios as they try to get shots onto different people and not going to be able to get any downs just yet. Shock will be at the bottom of the baby stairs. They're going to get a second down. Shock not able to clean up any of those kills. He's going to get killed himself. This is a different start for Carnage Gaming, and a great start at that. They're going to go home to home. They may even have pressure on the B-Hill as well. Hive doesn't really have an answer for him right now.
Not just yet in this round. First time we're really seeing them battle from behind. Shockwave is going to get that drop shot, but he gets downed out. Question is, are they going to be able to get out alive with it? I do believe he does get out alive with it, and that's going to be a big play for Carnage. Great pickup on the kill from Dyslexic, but now he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. He's surely get downed out by Solurs. Great kill to pick that one up. Finally, and I mean finally, getting your home hill back this late into the game. A 30-point lead, and I say late, it's actually pretty early. Just a lot of action going down so far.
We see that Shockwave does have that drop shot. He's waiting on that opposite pillar, that opposite ledge. First drop out, we'll find a kill onto Demise. They're going to get him down to 3 out of 4 respawns, but that's just going to even up the odds a little bit because you see Absenz and Dyslexic all the way down to 2. Shock, the only player on Hive, down to 2 for them. This is only the 3rd round of the first half, so they've got plenty of lives to play with in this instance. Shock mounted up top on the heaven spot. 5th player coming back off spawn. That'll be Demise. He's going to try to rotate toward the middle of the map. I think what they have to do is information gather and try to rotate home to home. They need to pull that drop shot away from the B hill. Now that they've got the decap on it, they've got to try to pull the attention of some of the players from Carnage away from that B hill. Try to get a secondary hill away from where that drop shot is because you know where it was. You know that it was guarding over that B hill, like playing Guardian Angel. Now they've moved it up to the heaven spot. So I'm sure if they have that information or that intel, but that's going to be a big difference maker if they do get a look at Shockwave and are able to get him spotted out and possibly get some pressure onto him.
And the silver lining for Hive right now, even though they do have to go through that drop shot and Shockwave still, is it's 1 for 1. There's no 2 hills favor at Carnage. So even though this is a long game, the score is ticking up. No team is really gaining a massive advantage. Roughly about 40, 50 points here for a moment, but the moves are being made by Shock. He gets that kill on Dyslexic right underneath him without having forced the drop shot just yet. Another elimination comes through. Shockwave, where are you at?
Now they get the down, they get the out there, onto Exovios. Demise will have the secondary drop. And he has 2 in his hand. Triple cap domination being threatened for just a moment. They pull back, and now it looks like Hive is going to try their best to do exactly what Carnage Gaming just did. They're going to try to get back into this and get that point lead in their favor. The decap will come through for just a moment, but Demise will finish him off with the drop. They have another shot to stop it as well. In just about 3 more seconds, you will see the win condition not only flip over to Hive, but the points in that top left corner will flip over to Hive as well. Demise sitting on 1 more rocket in his pocket, and Carnage Gaming is stacked up here. Demise, Dyslexic and Absenz down to just 1 respawn. Long range, gets the kill on Dyslexic as well. He'll be on his final life if he decides to come back into this one. But we are in the last 20 seconds, so here will come the last gas, the last push for Carnage Gaming. Really stuck in that back hallway. They don't have many options to rotate around. Under 10 seconds, Lancer damage out. They're going to get the decap on B, but the double down comes through with the home hill, and Hive stands tall. This will be a 3-0 round count lead in favor of the boys from Hive.
Honestly, I didn't see any drop shots get thrown out. I didn't hear any major explosions, and I didn't see Shockwave with the drop shot in his hands at almost any point. Where did you use those drop shots? Yeah, I didn't see any eliminations come through. Carnage Gaming had a massive advantage and let that slip through.
He got one on
the second one, where was the second one? The second one was just
he
not
might have either
used.
misfired it or he might have shot it and we just didn't see it. But the only elimination I believe he got was on Demise PR.
I don't know if he needs some gamer grip. I don't know if he needs whatever Nunez uses at events to go ahead and dry his hands, but he's shaky right now. And that's not what I want to see out of Carnage, because like I said, I was impressed all season long. Today is not the day to let me and your fans down.
One of the things that we are going to get a good look over here, the Hive actually has 2 players in the area, and Carnage Gaming, that's a blunder to me. I hate to say it, but with only 1 player really defending up that drop shot on the opposite side of the map while the big fight happens over here at the Overlook, Hive had a picture-perfect chance to go for that drop, maybe go for a 2-man push down there to pick it quickly and then use it to get any damage on Carnage. Instead now, everybody's just stacked up, and Carnage is going to come away with this initial because they flooded that 4th person in that direction to get the extra Lancer damage on. They're going to go for the decap there on the A hill. I mean, this should be a 3-1 round count unless something terrible happens, because they should be able to put pressure at the B hill next before Hive's really able to stack back up. And here comes the reinforcements. Dyslexic here into the heaven spot through that front baby step area. He's going to be on the back of the B hill, threatening that triple cap domination, but stopped by the home hill pick. There's a drop shot out on a tiny, easy work. A second one up top, gets Demise as well. So there's the drop shot eliminations you were looking for, PR.
Yep. Dyslexic might have died for his teammate, but that's a death I'd take any day. 2 quick drop shot kills is going to put your team in a better position than you were before. That's going to leave Hive no choice here but to battle for that up top overlook. Once they get that up top overlook, they're going to go ahead and stop for a moment, try to gather as much information as they can, and then make 1 of 2 pushes. They're going to overextend A to C and try to get the home hill, or they're going to go ahead and try to go down low, get that extra instant or smoke that should be spawning soon, and make a play for that neutral. They do have some players that are looking like they're going to cure from possibly a split push as well, but I don't think that's the one.
Trying to take a look here over the top, double hop by Tidy. He's gonna get the revive. They don't go down. 3 members are stacked up there. Feint rolls in. I think that was a misroll. He's actually gonna try to get out with his life now. Shot over the cover will get the kill there. Second member of Carnage Gaming is in the area. They're gonna rotate back, try to get the cap up at the B hill. Meanwhile, Solurs getting a lot of attention. 2 players over there winning a 2v2 for Carnage. And now it's going to be on the backs of the rest of the members of Hive to possibly win a secondary drop and keep this 2-to-1 hill advantage in their favor. Tidy will have to get revived. He's going to go down again. Shock is in the area, has to soak some bullets for his teammate as well. Look at all the damage, though. Carnage Gaming has finally found their accuracy with their Lancers and their snubs, and they are getting a lot of downs, and now they've got a couple of outs, and that's a brilliant job. Once again, I'm calling the 3-1. I think this is what they needed to have happen in this round to start their comeback. They go into the second half with a 2-round deficit, and Hive still 2 rounds away from winning map number 1.
I'm trying to wait till this one is over. I've seen miracles happen, but not this time around. Is like Colin said, 3-1 score line going into the half, and this is where I begin to wonder. The Carnage did a good job on that fast-paced gameplay, the slow respawn, the low respawn timers, but now we're back up to 16 seconds. Now we're back up to where if you make a wrong play, you will be punished for it, and the opportunity to overtake and put that pressure will be there. As you see, the instance being upgraded to 60 seconds on one side. On the other side, it's going to be placed on the map for the first time. So right now, it's going to be up to Hive to make sure this initial is worth it, because after the initial, it's going to be Carnage Gaming that has the advantage with instance up every 60 seconds.
We see here the hop and the drop over across. They're actually sending 3 players to try to put pressure on those backline players of Carnage Gaming. Exovius is going to go down. Somebody has to get the quick revive off, and they do. Exovius has 1 to his left. He's going to get the drop off there. He's got 2 more in front of him. He's got to worry about the different angles that can be shot on. Bgod, he's going to throw out that active, and he does get the kill. Meanwhile, there's a down on the baby steps, so 4 players from Carnage Gaming are down very quickly. Like you said, after the initial, this is going to be in favor of Carnage, so Hive worked quick. They've got a lot of death already on the side of Carnage Gaming. They're pressing up onto Dyslexic. They get the down on him. This is what they needed to have happen. They're going to force the hand of Carnage to go back to their home hill, and they're going to have to sit down for just a moment because there's only 4 of them alive on the map. They got to figure out where they're going to go next. I think the number 1 thing they have to be concerned with is over at the E hill. Hive has 4 players set up already. They're going to have the information gathered for just a minute. I think they're going to have to settle down here and try to figure out where they can break into the defensive Hive. But I love player 9's position. That's Shock. Shock has this corner, this cubby. He's hidden from the overlook in the heaven spot, and he's going to have free Lancer damage on anybody that comes up there. He's already got a free down on the first one, and the fight will break out at overlook. Multiple players from Carnage are going to push into this cubby, but the damage from long range, Dyslexic hits an incendiary onto Shock. Beautifully done. He was underneath and hits that huge, huge incendiary.
That was a massive opportunity for Dyslexic to make a play. Honestly, for the moment he picked it up, that's who I was looking at in your top right mini-map, seeing where he takes that instant and where he makes a big impact play from. You said it was down low. I almost thought he threw it from heaven there for a moment. It depends on where he was actually positioned. Great play nonetheless. That changes it up just a little bit. Now they're putting the thorn in the side of Hive. Multiple players getting eliminated. Now Tidy is on the back foot, forced all the way back. Carnage Gaming now have 2 hills under their control, but could it be too little too late? They have a score to overcome, and now it's going to be up to this next couple of kills right here. Shock's touch in between a rock and a hard place, but he does have some Lancers behind him. I want to see him get out and try to reposition himself a little bit better with the rest of his team, because now Shockwave has those instants. Quick, easy kill attempt coming out from Shock. He does get taken out. Reposition was a must. It's not going to happen. So Carnage Gaming has turned the tides, and I do think it's the momentum shift as well.
Double kill there with the incendiary by Tidy on Shockwave and Dyslexic. That's a good job, and it looks like he's going to open up the wound. He's going to try to push into D. First shot in will get a good amount of damage, and now the Lancer fire from over top. Tidy trying to bounce around, goes for the up A, won't be able to find it. Absenz isn't even hurt, so the other members of Hive that have rotated into the area are going to be right here. Damage out from that drop, not going to be able to find anything just yet. Shock will go down to the back lane. There's a long-range smoke, but over the cover, I believe, is Absenz. He gets one, he gets a second as well. Back-to-back headshots will shut Hive down, and I believe we're staring down the barrel of a 3-2 round count, and Carnage Gaming, ladies and gentlemen, have found their footing here in map number 1.
Last thing you want to do is let this team get hot. Let Carnage Gaming begin to fill themselves. Now, like you said, 3-2, one step closer from tying it up. And you take this one step at a time, Colin, then you're right back into the game, and they're playing it damn near perfect. Those drop shot plays, especially players like Dyslexic being the distraction they need. But on that opening round was almost perfect for Hive, and I'm surprised they let the whole round slip through. They got that drop shot early on because they had their teammates push back. I don't know if it was Tidy, I don't know if it was Demise, but they distracted Shockwave and made him use his instants on them. He didn't get a kill. That allowed him to get the drop shot out. But from there, it was all Carnage dominating the battlefield.
Did a fantastic job. No problems, no issues. They were picture perfect with the way they played that round. Now, like I said in the early goings, when Hive was doing a good job of getting 3 or 4 kills, that last player for, I believe it was Dyslexic even, the last player for Carnage Alive, allowed them to get back off and respawn and formulate a pretty good retake here. Dyslexic up top of the overlook is going to be full red and taken down. I don't know if anybody's in the area. Flash over the top will get the double flash and get the double stun. But the revives from Carnage and the rest of Dyslexic are pretty on point. I mean, they are playing close enough to each other to just hit that X button quick enough to get the tap, to get the revive, and to put pressure back on their opponents. Smoke grenade out. Absenz tries to go across the top of the overlook, but you can see the focus is still squarely pretty much on Dyslexic. They go down into the E hill. They're going to go for this cap, hop over, and they're going to try to take position up to Lancer out. Dyslexic, a little bit of damage onto him. Shock, though, still hurt. Shot around the cover, 2 shots and a down, 3 shots and a death. Picture perfect job by him to play defensively. They got to worry, though. Dyslexic coming in from the left is full red. Will be downed and out finally. Absenz killed off as well. Feint has to try to survive here. He's going to go for the up A. Not going to find anything on the first one. The second one doesn't connect as well. And look at the stalemate. We have the Hatfields and McCoys on the opposite side of the map. You see Shockwave staring down Tidy, and they are just looking across the fence line at each other like, hey, don't you do anything.
I mean, this is like shades of Gears 4, Gears 5, where usually that 1v1 player can't affect the game so much, and that's where you really have those players who shine. Retired now, but Drix, you got PK, Summons, Ribs back in the day. Those are those 1v1 players that when they're in that situation, they don't just stalemate the game. They make moves, they look for opportunities, and I want to see that happen a little bit more between these two teams, but the main fight's going to go down. Team Cali himself, the Solurs, going to get one. Big down with the help of Shock. He's going to clean up that kill. Double kill coming out from downtown in the West Coast. Solurs is going to keep the rotation going, though. 3 members of Carnage Gaming are taken out, and that leaves Tidy all by his lonesome, and he's just going to try to reposition. Don't get greedy. Don't bite off more than you could chew. Dyslexic will have to come to me in a moment's notice here as we go for a triple cap domination. Instead of coming to me, he'd rather stay alive. That's fine. I'm still going to win the round, and just like that, a 4-2 lead for Hive. And I'm talking about, man, I'm proud of that man. Solurs, there's somebody else right now that's probably proud of that guy. That's Mama Solurs in chat, probably cooking up a nice victory dinner if this continues to go his way.
And Mama Solurs, one of the best fans of all time. I've cherished every moment I've gotten the chance to speak with her and tell her how proud I am of her son and how great of a player her son is. I'm sure she feels just as proudful, if not more proud than anybody on the planet, to see him continue to shine and prove that he is one of those top echelon players, that his son is still one of the cream of the crop, best of the best, best of the rest. We come here, though. Map point for Hive. They're up 4-2. We are in round number 7. Once again, 60-second incendiaries for both teams. Carnage Gaming, though, have the extra flashbangs, the extra utilities at the DB depot. Both teams will pick their incendiaries up. Unsure if they're going to rotate those down into this next fight. Dyslexic will already have the back of the U. But they have forfeited Absenz the top of the overlook. I'm curious how this is going to play out from here on out.
Ooh. I don't know how Tidy got that kill, but he chucked that one upward and took out Shockwave with the Ensign, but it still goes down to a 1v1 because Bgod was able to trade that one out to the other side of the map, but Fate is just railing down on the members of Hive from above. Put Shock in a bad spot. They're able to take advantage, but I might have spoke too soon. Absenz actually took an advantage of by Shock, and now they have the angles needed as these rest of this Hive players come off of respawn. That's going to put Dyslexic in an unfavorable spot, forcing him all the way back, and inch by inch, Hive is battling back into this one, but they still have more to overcome. The score as well as they trail 30 points. Carnage continues to hold on to these two hills.
I want to see where they rotate here. They got 3 set up. It's 4 members of Carnage Gaming over there at the Overlook. They're trying to rotate Tidy over there very quickly to get back into this fight. 70 seconds from now, Carnage Gaming will make it 4-3. Xovios, there's the flash out to the short side of that box. It's going to get a stun, so he'll be able to push up without getting much damage onto him. Feint's going to be up here top of the Overlook. He's going to rotate down there to Absenz. Flash out, he's going to play his cubby corner. Good first L trigger. Second one doesn't connect as well. Just a couple of pellets here and there. Meanwhile, the shots from the Heaven are pretty impressive from the side of Carnage. They have kept the heads of most of Hive down. The Incendiary comes out. They're going to get the down on Xovios, and they will clean that up as well. Meanwhile, you see Solurs has rotated over and has decided to take a 1v1 against Shockwave for control over the home hill of Carnage Gaming. I love this play by Solurs. He's applied pressure to the opposite side of the map, so Hive can pull back a little bit here at that mid-neutral hill and see how Carnage Gaming decides to play the rest of this fight out. You're going to see the downs and damage coming through, but nothing too impressive yet. No team really taking full control and full factor over this map. Solurs will once again have a 1v1 here against Shockwave. Shockwave rolls up. Solurs tries to hit an up A on Dyslexic, who rotates over, but is not going to find it. Elimination, domination, ticks through. 4-3. Carnage Gaming, great answer by them in round number 7.
They completely eliminated off the map, and like I said, inch by inch, Carnage Gaming is getting back into this one. Obviously, a much better showing than those first 3 rounds. The second half is where teams are made, because honestly, we've seen a few comebacks already today, and by a few, I think we've seen more comebacks already up until this point than we've seen in every major event so far. So it's not over till the fat lady sings. It doesn't matter if she's humming the song until a word is spoken. The game will go on. So on this next one, you got the Instants every 60 seconds, shock grenade towards one side, drop shot on the field, and that's what gives the advantage on over to Carnage Gaming in the weapon placements in that shock. It's because Hive chose to put that drop shot on the field, and honestly, can't disagree with them, because since then, they've just been taking these fights and dominating Carnage on these initials.
You're absolutely right, PR. We have the shocks out, we have the incendiaries out. Absenz is going to try to take this fight one up. They're going to go head up, and Absenz will have right-hand advantage up there. And there's the shots from the Heaven again. Shockwave is set up there and has really made the life as hard as possible for any player of Hive. And Shock gets taken out. Feint. That cover shot is just so picture perfect right now. It's so pristine. People have the confidence to slide into the cover and take that blindy over the top to try to put the pressure on the opponent. Meanwhile, Carnage Gaming and Bgod have come away with the drop shot bottom side of the map. So even though the 2-1 hill advantage is in favor of Hive, that drop shot looming on in the hands of Bgod, will be a devastating one at that. And Solurs actually runs into the shotgun of Absenz. So, I mean, that defense fell apart before the retake even started.
And this is going to make it a little bit harder for Hive. Bgod with the drop shot, able to put it to use, and that's going to put a stop to any push coming out from Hive. They have the lead for now, but that is the thing. It's just for now. They're going to have to spawn back up, get right back onto the field, and figure out where their play is going to be. So this moment where it slows down just a little bit, it's just going to slow down as they gather that information, spot out as many of the targets as possible, figure out where their defense is strongest at, and figure out how they're going to break it. They're going to break it by brute forcing it with those instants, or they're going to try to rotate around the map and catch somebody from Carnage Gaming on rotation. But just by the look of it, 4 players rotating towards the top half of the map, it does look like it is going to be a showdown for this neutral hill.
There's the long-range drop. It'll find the kill there on Xovios, and the flashes will come out. Now, I'm not sure how much they're going to want to push into this because they don't have the necessary soldiers to put into this fight. Dyslexic already has shots over the top. I mean, that is going to continue to pressure the members of... That's going to continue to pressure members of Hive in this fight. They're going to go another down there onto Shock, flash out. Solurs tries to roll in. He gets a quick kill onto Dyslexic. The up A, though, comes through. And Bgod, with 2 to his name, goes for a third, will get shut down. The E-Hill will finally get decapped, but I don't know if it matters. The F-Hill still well within the favor of Carnage Gaming, and with the extra lives in this, they might be able to come back over here, pressure the E-Hill, and they're going to have positioning over that secondary drop shot.
And the win condition, you already see it up top. It's going to switch on over to Hive, but you have to make sure to remember, is uncontested hills. Once one of those hills gets broken, it's back on over towards Carnage. Dyslexic gets that kill on Tidy. Shock's fighting for his life on that side, but he gets the down on Bgod. This is going to be a huge opportunity for Hive to take control of the ending portions of this match, since Ovios gets another one on Fate. Dyslexic's left all by his lonesome. He doesn't get the hero play that's needed. He gets taken out. The late portions of this game is going over to Hive, and they're already on map point.
You see, though, it's still going to be a decap that's needed. Absenz pushes up. The Incendiary comes out. Absenz hits a chunk on to Demise, and that decap at the home hill of Hive, I think, is going to seal the deal and take us to a round number 9. 10 seconds left. Home-to-home push has solidified this round victory, and all those kills come through. Carnage Gaming tie this one up, and we go to our first round 9 of this matchup.
And this is exactly what I thought we were going to see. I know Ryan said it on the analyst desk. If Carnage has a chance at this, they're going to have to force a map number 3. Well, you almost got a map number 3 if you can win the first one, and then you got that little bit of a cushion. If Hive wins map number 2, there you go. There's your win condition, according to our analyst on the desk. And Hive is playing directly into that hand, but we got our first lock of the game. And honestly, Colin, you already know it has to be matched. It has to be matched.
Yeah, it has to be matched. You have to take away, if you're going to take away their weapon, they're going to take away yours to make sure it is even up in the utility department. So we will come here to the next round, the 9th round, as a matter of fact. And I'm taking a look over these respawns. Dyslexic, the only person really at 1 out of 4 on the entire setup. So he has to be careful in this first engagement not to get taken down too quickly. Because if he dies and puts his team in a position where he can't play up, I mean, that's one of your best CQC players out of those fights. Shot over, he gets 1, he gets a second, and Dyslexic, that might seal the deal for his team. I mean, that is hard to come back from, especially when you were on 1 out of 4, and now you're going to put your opponents on 1 out of 4.
Oh, this is not looking good here. Like you said, Shock 1 out of 4, Xovios 1 out of 4. The rest of the members of Hive have 3 respawns left, but this is round number 9. Quickest respawn timers in the entire game. So if you get lost in the sauce, so will your lives if you're not paying too much attention. A push attempt coming out from Hive. Demise takes a ton of damage. He goes down, actually. Quick revive coming through. They're still continuing this triple man push, but the Lancers from Carnage Gaming, look at the damage that they're putting out. They get 1 elimination. Great shotty shots from Bgod as well. Tidy goes down. It just seems like Hive is just crumbling right before our eyes.
They are falling to pieces. They were a piece of granite in those first couple of rounds, but now they seem to be more like just dust in the wind. Thank you, Kansas. And we see Dyslexic with another kill to his name. Will put Solurs on 1 out of 4. Shock down and out. Shock will be on his final life at this point. And 60 seconds from now, Carnage Gaming will not have just mounted a comeback. They will have gotten the first map under their belt and have really made it as hard as possible for Hive to come back, having to win back-to-back maps. This is also Hive's map pick, which is super surprising to me that they were so dominant in the first half with those first couple of rounds. They were so good at the rotations and playing together as a team that they're going to not just drop their first map, they're going to drop their first map, which is their pick, and Solurs gets taken down. Solurs is going to get revived by Xovios. Good job there, but I mean, Shock has to play the 1v1, and I like this. Dyslexic has decided with the extra respawn in his pocket, he's going to push that 1v1, especially with Shockwave having the Lancer angle from the low, and you see the kills coming through. This looks like it's going to be NPR.
That is definitely going to be it. Ear ticking in your ears. Win condition coming through. In way of elimination, the comeback has been made. 5-4 Carnage. Take map number 1 over Hive. And that was in dominating fashion towards the second half.
Absolutely gorgeous teamwork, Lancer Fire and Wolf packing out of Dyslexic for the entire second half of that matchup. And again, I mean, like Carnage Gaming and Dyslexic, they did a fantastic job all second half. I said it right there at the start of that round. He has to be taken down early in that initial, and instead of him dying, he gets 2 quick kills back to back, which puts 2 different people on Hive at 1 out of 4. So now any retake you mount will probably put you on your final life. So all props to Carnage Gaming. They are in a fantastic position moving forward because now we're going to go to their map pick, PR, and that is just going to make life that much harder for Hive to come back in this one. It's going to take a Herculean effort. So right now, Carnage is looking at like the same team we saw in Pro League. They don't look as flat as we might have thought they were going to be, like Fire and Ice was in that last online major.
And you're talking about that tweet Shock made earlier, the comparison where Dyslexic's wearing the SpongeBob shirt, you said? Well, I wish I could do SpongeBob's laugh right now, because that's all I feel like Dyslexic is doing, just completely laughing at Shock in that comparison, saying, hey, stats don't matter, everything but the win, as Hive takes that big loss to Carnage. So that's going to be hard to come back from, because like you said, they were dominating the first half of the game. And usually when something like this happens, you see deflation come map number 2 or map number 3, whatever one that may be. So I just hope Hive can have a pitcher's mentality, forget what just happened, and realize no matter what happens in a best of 3, you got to win 2 maps regardless. It wasn't the 1 and 2 map that you thought it would be, but it's going to be the 2 and 3 map that it has to be.
That's exactly what they have to do. PR, real quick, I want to say, we got to see that highlight of that Ensign come up over the top of Overlook, and you were correct. As a matter of fact, he threw it from that top heaven position. He was at the very tip of the stairs. I thought he was at the bottom of the stairs, or maybe even that cubby corner based on where that circle was on the mini-map. He was, in fact, on the stairs of heaven when he launched that thing over the top. I hate to say it, but that's one of those times where I'd love to be able to go back in a theater-type mode and be able to watch that back in slow motion and follow that Ensign through the air as it comes across and lands on 2 players of Hive. I mean, that would make a hell of a montage scene if I've ever seen one. But there you go. You take a look at the setup. We're going to be Training Grounds 5-4. We're moving into map number 2, which is Carnage Gaming's map. And Carnage has played Forge. I mean, I want to say almost better than anybody else on the planet. The way that they are able to take that top control fight, how they upgraded that Marksa, and they have a couple of different guys who are very stout with it, and if they get a chance to get a torque bow free in their hands, that's going to make life that much harder. This next map is going to be one hell of a battle, especially if you're a fan of Hive. I mean, this is almost David and Goliath at this point, because I don't think they're coming in here with much more than an Asher and a slingshot.
Yep, and I don't even know if they have their coach anymore. They did go 3-0 in the lower bracket, but if you talk about the history of their coaches, they picked up Crazy Train pretty early on. I do believe Gears War 5, possibly Gears 4 towards the ending. I know you can correct me, at least on that regard. And you kind of saw they're playing more like a team, playing more like an aggressive unit, whether they were playing Shoddy heavy or Lancer heavy. And then you add in Solurs with a few roster changes. You add in one of the championship coaches in Fatal Strike, and you thought, hey, they're going to blow through the roof with what they have on their roster. Well, they had the same type of performance they had at recent events. So coming into this next Pro League, there's one thing I did notice. They didn't only lose Fatal Strike, but they lost Crazy Train as well. And to me, that says more than you might know, because Crazy Train, like I said, was with them from the beginning. If you lose an original piece of your team, you have to fill that gap, and they did not fill that gap. So I think losing Crazy Train hurts this team more than a lot of people might give it credit, but that's not slouch on them. Like I said, they were 3-0 through the lower bracket, but they're going to have to continue that same dominance. You can't let a team like Carnage, who hasn't shown they playing up to their full potential, beat you, because then what happens when you play the PKs? What happens when you play VQ and UYU? What happens when you play Noble? You're not going to have that same type of cushion.
Well, I think you're exactly right. Sometimes you got to look at what may be missing from it, and we can't ever forget the fact that TJ is no longer with this team. I know TJ was probably one of the most sought-after players when it came to free agency, and trying to get him away from the rest of the guys on Hive, maybe to a different team. Finally ends up over there with UYU. So not only do they not have a coach, they don't have kind of the in-game leader that they're so used to. All of these guys are highly talented, extremely skilled, mechanically some of the best players on the face of the planet. I think Shock would add a level of, how do I put this, a level of veteranship that they probably haven't had to this point, especially because they've been playing together, and maybe he's had some different looks, he's had some different seasoning from some other coaches and other teams. I could only imagine, and this is going to be a real big throwback. Do you remember way back when on E United, when Shock had like Rezik with him, and they were playing underneath the tutelage of Affinity?
Yeah.
I would love to see what an Affinity could do with this kind of squad, with these kinds of guys that are that talented and that good. I know he's over there with Rise, and he's making them as good as he possibly can. They've got a great coaching staff over there on Rise, but I look back at kind of the progression of that E United team. Yeah, they could never really get past the hump, get over the hump, and win the big one, but there's no better coach on the planet at times than Affinity, if you ask me. He probably knows the game inside and out better than anybody, and I think all the way back to those days where I'm like, damn, I bet you sometimes Shock, he would watch a VOD, and he'd probably think to himself, man, I'd love to hear that second voice right now. Like, close his eyes and just hope to hear it come through the Discord call. I mean, because I think that's one of the things in that last map. They didn't have the play call. They could be watching all 5 POVs. They don't have probably a coach sitting there saying, look, you've got the numbers advantage at the drop shot. Go ahead and take that fight. Take that 2v1 over there. They sent the 4th person over to the middle of the map. they don't have somebody there to help out. And that's one of those things where you get lost in that position. You get lost in those transitions and those little mini strats within the round. Yeah, you have your initial that you want to go with, but they do something crazy like that and send 4 people to you. Well, now you know you've got it, but you don't because you don't have somebody looking over the shoulders like a guardian angel. So they come here to Forge. It's a little bit smaller of a map. There's a lot less angles for you to cover, and I think that's going to be one of the things that might be able to give Hive a chance to get back into this. But the first and foremost, they are going to have to start winning their shotgun fights. They're going to have to start winning their shotgun fights first and foremost, especially when it comes to that up top control button fight. I mean, that's just without a doubt, that's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be all about early on.
Yeah, and one thing I really like, what it's not only what you said, it's kind of how you said it, and the person that you chose, not player. But I like the way you were talking about certain coaches, and you hand-selected a certain coach in Affinity, and he's kind of like one of the unsung heroes for a lot of rosters. He's coaching Rise now, United before. He's been on a few other teams as well, like Simplicity. One of the unsung heroes, like I said, because a lot of people don't know. Yeah, you might be able to take a star player and plug him into another roster, and they might perform as well. Coaches are a little bit more different. You can't just plug and play a coach into any single team. Like Ashes wouldn't necessarily work on Rise, and Fatal Strike wouldn't necessarily work on this UYU roster. And the same for Infinity. And not every team can be coached by just anybody, and I think Affinity is a well-respected player. He's been at the top of his game while he's been a player, even when taking breaks from the game. And then every other team that he coaches, you can see, just like you said, the progression within those teams. You saw early on in the season, Rise was in through a little bit of a slouch through the off season and things like that. But you see, now that things have been going underway, a little bit later down the road, Affinity dragged them back in along with the help of another one of their analysts, and they're now back to tip-top shape. Yeah, they might have been performing so well during the Swiss League, but it's championship bracket. It is time. Saturday, Sunday, this is where you separate the men from the boys. And if I know Rise like I think I do, don't let my predictions during the season fool you, I think we're going to see them come far. We're going to see them in our winners finals.
And, you know, we're going to be able to see that further down the line. But, ladies and gentlemen, we come here into map number 2. Everybody has officially rolled out of spawn for round number 1. And we're going to see how they play this. And it looks like a lot of Lancers out to the top. Both teams getting one down. And you can see Xovio's trying to set up that headshot there, trying to get some extra damage, trying to force down the heads of both members from Carnage. Another down comes out. The kill finally comes through. Demise rolls back. Dyslexic tries to push him, and he goes down. So good start for Hive here in round number 1.
Yep, another good start, though. We've seen it already in map number 1. One thing we learned, though, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And Carnage is one of those teams that when their backs are up against the wall, they got a fight like champions. Bgod this time, though, he's getting pressured, he's getting pushed. Another couple eliminations, longest respawn timers of the game. Absenz is even to make it down the steps. Fate's just kept busy on the other side of the pillars, and Hive wins in less than a minute. But like I said, just keep note, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. We've seen Hive dominate beginning of games before, and now I need to see them take it a step further.
Well, they're going to have to take it a step further, and they're going to have to continue on with that same success. Look, once again, that top button control fight is very poignant, especially in that second half. Well, the first half with that hill right below it and that Lancer angle you can get out of it. So winning that in the first round was all well and good. They got to come here to the second round and make sure they do just about the same, if not better, coming into this next initial. We're going to see everybody roll out of spawn. I want to see how Demise decides to take that fight, because I think it's Demise and Xovios that go up there, and I don't know if you could ask for 2 better players in a 2v2 situation other than the 2 of them, especially with this kind of setup. Flash grenades out from Absenz. I don't think anybody got stunned there whatsoever. Demise tries to hit a back A. He's going to get lanced out through that window, but they still get the down. A couple of pellets come through. They get the first. The Dyslexic tries to back up, and the left trigger of Xovios just too strong. My God, Xovios, such an improvement for this team over Noey. I just love the fact that they made that team change, right? PR, wink, wink, nudge,
I agree with you 100%. Thank God Noey's on the bench. They brought back in Xovios, and look what the change it makes. 2 rounds in a row, the second one quicker than the first, and that goes to that up top domination. They just completely are not giving up any inches, and they force Carnage Gaming to quit gears and open up a donut shop.
Hey, look, I couldn't help myself, PR. I saw Xovios get that kill, and I said, you know what? I've got to highlight how good he's playing. I can't help myself. As a matter of fact, I might even ask if they lose this map. I might ask why they dropped Noey. I don't want to see that.
I could just imagine grand finals. They're down 0-2. He goes back, quits out of the game, and in comes Noey.
That's right. He has to change the gamer tag back. He's got to get Bgod out here. But here we go to round number 3. Lancer's out. Absenz will be hit just a little bit, and Demise takes a long-range wide angle and hits an absolute apartment complex. I mean, my God, oh my Lord, Demise, don't do it to him with the slide back and forth, little wiggle waggle on him. And now Shockwave is full red. He's going to be pressed by 2 members of Hive, and he's back inside of these pillars. And I believe he put himself on the Hive side of the map, so he needs to be careful not to get Lancer out for the respawns.
Yep. And this is where Carnage finally battling back. They put a stop to what Demise was doing to them just moments ago. Exovios gets another one, saving Solurs' life, and that's the big part. Can he do it again? Solurs goes down. No more downs to his name, but Exovios does it again. If you need a hero, call Exovios. So make sure you guys pick up your Hive skins in the shop today if you want to play like Exovios.
That's exactly what's going on right now. Absenz will finally pick up one of those meat shields right there on the Demise, but the extra shots come through. They will get the down. They need to clean up the kill before they rotate back into the hill fight because multiple members of Carnage Gaming are coming off a spawn. Bgod has the Lancer angle for now. He's going to continue to put shots on at the stairwell. Not going to be able to get much going there, and Shock dies up there at the incinerator fight. So that's going to open things up for the side of Carnage Gaming to try to rotate in here. Dyslexic, full red. Not going to go down just yet. Demise and Exovios in the area, trying to find one more angle on him, trying to get damage down and out on him. He's going to be full red for a 3rd time and is still surviving in this fight. Beautiful job by Dyslexic, ladies and gentlemen, to stay alive in this fight.
I'm surprised Dyslexic is still alive, and instead of hunting him down, the rest of the Hive members know this neutral hill, eliminating these players off the 50-point line on the map is going to be just as important. Absenz, though, on the other side of things, doing everything he can, but a blunder with the buttons, kicks a flashbang at Shock, but it does no damage, so Shock takes him out anyway. That gives them a little bit of a man advantage here, and the Hive doesn't even really need the man advantage. They have 2 hills. It's up to Carnage Gaming to make this push. They're starting it a little bit down low, but with a man advantage on Heidi maneuvering up, they're going to soon end up in a big Lancer battle.
And you see Demise trying to come around that corner. Up A comes through. Beautiful job there to finally get that kill on Dyslexic. Now Feint will try his hand. 2 shots over the cover and another down in damage for Demise. I believe he's going to go for that decap just to try to make it that much harder. The 200-point threshold has been crossed. That's the elimination, domination, and a little love out of Shock to try to end this round. Ladies and gentlemen, the Hive once again, big lead to start the first half. Going into the last round of the first half, though, this is going to be a very telling story for me because if Carnage Gaming answers back and makes it 3-1, I'm going to start having deja vu and I'm going to start getting a little nervous.
They're going to have to act like Drake and flip the switch once more, and that is the way to start it. Throw that drop shot middle map. They're going to have to battle against one Ensign, but if they can dodge this Ensign and come out unscathed, that battle will continue, and they will be in a good spot to fight for it. But it all depends as well. You got to watch out for those players playing the lower portion of the map. You already see the trick shots coming through. Exovio is going to have an early cut towards the center.
And Exovios is going toward those cogwheels. I think he got spotted out and was shot on a bunch. Dyslexic is down in that middle area. He's going to get revived, but the incendiary comes through. 5 versus 4 on the map. Slow down, make them make the mistake now. You see the extra flash coming up to that corner, doesn't get the stun. They try to push in. Hip fires will come through. The drop shot won't find a death just yet. I believe I heard one come out and get shot. Now Shockwave tries to rotate onto Demise. Another death for Shockwave in this situation. That's only going to put him down to 3 out of 4, though, so he doesn't have to really worry about throwing a life away or 2. Incinerator will be pressed.
Wow.
Exovios down, and PR, I think things will settle up here, and Hive will have to play some defense.
Yep, for just a moment here, unless Carnage Gaming finds another elimination. They get the down on Solurs, unable to pick it up just yet. They're running across the map to make it happen. 3 players sandwiching. They get the kill on Solurs, and they get a bonus on Demise. Now they can backtrack, get the decap on the neutral hill, but this is the shortest respawn timers of the game. Hive is not going to waste any time here, especially since they know their reinforcements just a hop step away, but domination is going to continue as Carnage is continuing to put that pressure on. They know the home hill is right in front of them. They need this round. Xovios gets taken out. Tiny gets taken out. Demise falls as well. The win condition right in their grasp. The hill is being capped. I don't think anybody's going to get the touch, and Carnage win their first round of the match. And honestly, Colin, this is exactly how map number 1 went. I'm not going to say it's deja vu, but it certainly has the makings of it.
I mean, it ain't deja vu, but stop me if I've seen this somewhere before. All right, you didn't stop me, so I've definitely seen this somewhere before. Smoke grenades placed out by the side of Carnage. Demise, he's probably going to put something up top. Look, I hate to say this. If I was Demise right here, right now, I would put the torque up top. They're going to halftime their incendiary, which I understand. Demise has dominated that control tower fight. Like, make them make a play, make them make a decision, because Demise has been embarrassing that 1v1 up top every single round. And if they don't send anybody else up there, now you get Demise to win, you get an extra torque, and look at this, they've brought a second player up here to help fight Demise. They're gonna push him out. Solurs has to rotate over to try to make sure he doesn't get 2v1'd in this situation. Meanwhile, Shockwave has picked the drop, and it looks like Shock is down. Not sure if he's going to get killed, though. Bgod is going to go for this revive. There's a long-range incendiary. It doesn't find Shockwave either. And the revive comes out. Big job by Bgod to get the revive on Shockwave to get that drop shot out of there. And now if I'm Shockwave, I'm pulling that drop shot out. I'm going to try to find me a pick or two.
I'm not sure, but I felt like he felt the heat of that instant while he was down. Just mere inches away of that drop shot going out of play, and Hive being in a better spot. So luckily for them, though, they did get that capture off the initial, so they have roughly a 45-plus point lead before Carnage even gets that cap. And now Hive also has 2 hills, so they're also going to be able to rack up these points. But on the other side, Shockwave have 1 drop shot left. Well placed, can easily turn the tides, but as that's going down, Shockwave is going to continue to push up with Dyslexic and the rest of his teammates. Eliminations are going to be had. Demise finds himself in a bad spot, but he gets a kill. Is he going to get another one? He lands a crucial shot. Oh, he does not. Dyslexic shut him down, and my heart cannot take it anymore.
And look at this. The home hills have been flipped for just a moment. I believe Tidy actually snuck all the way over, got pressure onto the home hill, got the decap and the recap, which is going to continue to apply that pressure in the 2-to-1 hill stretch. Hive will have a moment to get their spawns back off, and they're going to be able to come back into this next fight down here at the E-Hill, but I think what we have to be sure that we're setting up for is that secondary drop shot. It's been about long enough in this round since the pick of it that I think it has probably only about 20 to 30 more seconds at most on it, so you see them setting up here at the forklift.
Smoke coming out. Demise is at least trying to get the break. First step is the break usually. He does not get it. Drop shot from downtown. Shockwave, he's going to use his last one to get Demise out of that one. Xovios does go down, but that's just a short moment. He does get revived right back up, takes a ton of damage, but that is going to be a stoppage to the push coming out from Hive. So Carter is going to have these 2 hills and the win condition up top, but it's still going to be up to it being uncontested. So Hive still has roughly 20 seconds here to try and break one of these hills and maintain the lead.
Good shot over the cover by Solurs, hits a full spread and a full brick, get that chunk. Meanwhile, up top, Tidy has died to the 1v1 of Bgod. So Bgod will have the extra Lancer lane in the top position of the map. Shockwave, meanwhile, another kill with the drop shock now. Doing his best to try to take back this top button control. Bgod fighting him off. Bgod hits a 3rd and final shot, getting the down. There's the love and the elimination. Domination will tick through Carnage Gaming, back-to-back rounds, PR, and this is a definitive nightmare scenario.
I'm like, hello? Goalie, are you my ears or am I watching VOD? Because I feel like I've seen this before, Colin. I feel like I've seen this exact same thing happen. Hive went up 3-0, slowly but surely. 2 straight rounds, they were able to bring it back. So Carnage is looking to do it not once, but 2 times in a row. Force a round number 9 and win it right there. As you see, 60 seconds on Incense for Hive, 120 for Carnage Gaming. But honestly, that only matters after the initial. So if somehow, some way, Carnage Gaming wins this initial, that advantage is almost neutralized.
What we're going to be able to see here, looks like a 2v2 will happen up top as well, so both teams need to be careful of not losing that top button control. Dyslexic will get pushed across on by Demise. Excuse me, that was Absenz. They got pushed across on by Demise. Now Bgod will be Lancered on that lane. Incendiaries out from both teams. Bgod will get the shots on, but the Lancer angle from up top is just too strong. It gets the down there. I'm wondering if anybody's going to make it to that kill or if they're going to get another free revive off on him. Dyslexic will finally go down mid-cut area behind the pillars, and the pickup of the drop shot will come through for Solurs. Bgod has bled himself out. They need to control this round whole-handedly. If I'm Hive, you need to stop this right now. You need to step on your opponent, go up 4-2, and try to come away with that map point.
Pressure is on for Hive. They want to win that 4th round. Double kill coming out from Solurs. Another elimination from Shock. Nobody alive from Carnage. Win by domination, win by elimination. It doesn't matter. 4-2 lead for Hive. One step away, but like I said, Colin, you can't count them out just yet. It's not over to the fat lady sings. I don't care if she's humming a song. I don't care, Colin.
You don't care at all, and I don't blame you, not with the way that Carnage has been playing, especially from that first map. So we're going to come here, hovering over that secondary home spawn. The smoke grenade is out for them. It looks like the 60 seconds for finally Carnage Gaming will get there. Incendiary back every minute. So evened up on that utility side of things. We see a look at the scoreboard here, and something I just want to point out for you. Solurs may only have 8 kills and 7 deaths, but he's only got 4 deaths on the map. So he's probably playing a lot of support player positions, but my God, that's still impressive when you think about the fact that he has to rotate around, and being that support player, he probably finds himself in a lot of end game situations, either by himself or in bad spots.
Yep. And a lot of people don't know, especially on a map like Harbor in Gears 4, he did play those 1v1 spots, so he's no stranger to it. And just like almost every round prior, Demise is going to open up top with that first kill. Dyslexic forced all the way back. He didn't die initially, so now he has a fighting chance, and a fighting chance he will take as he takes out Exovios. Demise is going to press that button. No easy captures for you, Carnage Gaming, because now it's going to be a 1v1. And I do believe Demise has to kind of win this 1v1, or they might try towards the low side. He wins the 1v1, but he gets down. No one's going to be able to save him. That's going to be a cleanup on the kill. I just hope Hive notices this and notice the button can't be pressed and send their numbers to the new trail. That's where their advantage lies.
They see that they stop the cap from coming in. Absenz is actually down. I wonder if they're going to make it to him to clean him up. The drop shot to the back of the incinerator doesn't find Tidy. He gets away momentarily with his life. Are they going to waste the second drop in this fight to try to come away with that kill? Bgod still has it in his hand, so you know he has one more rocket in his pocket. It is reloaded on his back. You can see the drill bit right there. So Bgod's going to rotate back. I wonder if he's going to drop it off for a teammate. He does indeed drop it off. They're going to put Bgod back in a shotgun situation. They don't really mind if he doesn't have a Lancer because they know what position he plays well on Forge. Mid-neutral still not being capped up. It's going to come down to who can get that initial cap. If Hive can get that cap, excuse me, and come away with the point victory to put the pressure back onto Carnage Gaming.
Honestly, I don't think Carnage is going to have the possibility for this cap simply because we're Demise in position. Look at number 3 on your mini-map. He's up top. So if that attempt does succeed and eliminations are had, he's going to press that button and neutralize it. It's just there goes the elimination first for Hive. A second one on Demise. They should certainly get these next couple of kills, especially if Demise can push up towards the top, get the extra angle, help out Exovios. He's in desperate need of the help right now.
And look at they try to get the right angle, the 90-degree there onto Exovios, and it took them so long to get there that they were able to rotate around, get a couple of extra shots into the area. You see Shock sitting here on that line. He's going to have to play defense by himself for just a moment because, again, that secondary drop will be coming back sooner rather than later. But you see, most of Carnage Gaming is rotated over toward the incinerator. The button gets pressed. Bgod's down behind, but he's going to get revived very quickly. The incendiary, absolutely perfect. It's got him trapped like a rat. Dyslexic has nowhere to go. Nowhere to hide except for one cubby corner where the shots from the top, the snub shots were coming out, and my God, they were about to light him up, man, like the 4th of July night here in America. Solurs takes back behind that forklift. They get the decap. Unsure if they're going to get the recap, but we need to see Hive win that secondary drop once again. I don't think they've won that thing since the first round it was put down.
No, I don't think so either. It didn't matter if Demise is getting first blood up top. They're not winning that battle down low, but Hive's taking it. He got the drop shot from downtown. He actually aims it perfect. Threads the needle, gets the kill, and gets the map win. 5-2. Hive force a map number 3.
And that's a statement win right there. They gave up the 2 rounds. We thought we were watching VOD for just a hot second, but the boys from Hive shut it down. They say, look, we're going to step on you for 2 more rounds, and they play picture perfect. I love that. The only players below 10 kills, Exovios and Tidy, playing kind of those support roles, kind of playing those swing roles. They are back in the driver's seat in this setup, if you ask me, because now we go back to Hive's map. That's going to be map number 3, and that's coming right after a quick commercial break.
number 3, they are going to be kicking themselves all night long because that first map was in their reach, in their grasp, but it gets slipped through over to Carnage. Just like you said, it's 1-1. 2 good maps being blessed with so far. Bunker being map number 3, and we've seen it play out almost all sorts of different ways so far. Lots of weapon placed towards E, towards the second half, placed on towards the plat side down low. We know teams off initials, they like to play aggressive on either side, but I got to go ahead and ask you, Colin, with map number 3 being Bunker between Carnage and Hive, 2 almost evenly matched teams in my book, what do you expect to see?
I expect to see a lot of rotations through the mid-bunker fight. One of the things that we got to see and witness with our own 2 eyes, with our voices over it, was Shock pull off one of the most clutch moments we've ever seen in all of Gears Esports history on this map in the back bunker fight. I think with him having that kind of veteran leadership and that kind of experience at that fight, if we see a power weapon go down, I believe we're going to see it go down at that bunker area. They're going to put it at that E fight unless Carnage try to take that away. I think Hive and Shock and all that experience coming onto this team are going to be much more prepared for that mid-neutral fight up in that bunker area, especially in that second half, late in that second half if it has to go that far. But that's going to be one of the things I want to keep my eye out for all map number 3.
I just want to correct you real quick, Colin. Second best play in Gears. Second best play. We know who has number 1. 1v19 man himself, Moo Milk, is the number 1 play in Gears history, followed by Shock.
With Noey.
Right
I trolled
after.
you with Noey, so I only deserve it, don't I?
I love it. I love your face. I'm just gonna screenshot your face and put it on my wall for the next month when I said that. But coming into this one, man, I mean, he can make it happen. We had the blessings to be able to cast that one, man. I almost blew the roof. My upstairs neighbors were probably banging on the floor trying to get me to shut up. You know, I yelled at them and I said, "No, did you guys see what Shock just did? Did you see the move he just played off?" And then, you know, they understood. They understood. They let me be loud the rest of the night.
Did you knock on the door and say, "Look at me, I'm 6'8" and I'm tatted"? Is that what you said?
I mean, like, basically, 6'8", tatted. Man, what does it say? Women love me, men want to be me.
That's Rick Rude, man. That's Rick Rude right there. Look, that's the reason everybody in this whole barnyard hates me. It's because every woman wants me and every man wants to be me. That's shout out to Rick Rude, by the way. R.I.P. to one of the legends. But look, I got word we're loading into the map here for map number 3. You've asked what I want to look for. It's going to be that drop shot probably up at the bunker fight, the power weapon playing at that mid-neutral E hill. I think early on, we need to see Hive continue to set the tone, though. They need to come out here on map number 1, and they need to really put the pressure on Carnage, with whether it be with an elimination domination or whether or not they really win a couple of fights back to back to back and put the pressure on them with setting up in a 2v1, 2-to-1 hill situation.
Whoa.
I like the overturn. Look at that. And see the immediate change by Carnage. They realized they had the advantage up top. They pushed the numbers quickly through the middle of the map.
Wow, but they didn't capture their home hill. If this doesn't work out for them, they're going to be so deep into a hole that it's going to be so hard to get out from. But Dyslexic knows it. He knows the risk that they were taking, and he gets a quick double kill to make this one happen. Now, when these players come off of respawn, Absenz in particular, they can backtrack for the home hill and keep 2 hills in their control because they're going to continue to try and eliminate these players. Shock's getting chased around. He gets 1. That's going to be a nice trade to come through, but Feint cleans up the kill in the end, and now he's going to backtrack, like I said. Now, if they have those 2 hills under their control, they're going to reposition and set up for defense because now the ball is in Hive's court to make a play. Which side of the map they play on is up to them, but they have the time here as they wait for Shock to get back on the field to figure it out, figure out where the information is, where players are set up. Heck, if there's any utility left over from that initial.
We're gonna have to see what they do here in that secondary retake that Hive is gonna have to go through. A lot of Lancer fire out and see where they've put their numbers. They put their numbers at the top bunker. They want to gain control over this area, and Absenz continued to back off, and they knew that they had pushed Exovios and Solurs up to that top ledge, and now they have that mid-cut fight. They have to have somebody kind of play protect the president, but Exovios, he watches the president get his head taken off, so now he has to rotate out of there because both of his bodyguards die. They don't get that Lancer angle back. He gets 1, but he gets traded out, and meanwhile, Carnage Gaming still have full control over the bottom half of the map. This looks like round number 1 should well within Carnage Gaming's grasp. I'm not sure how many people from Hive are even going to be able to respawn in.
Yeah, Shock was going for a cheeky kill there. They have the ability to spawn in, but just to warm up their fingers for the next round, nobody is going to make it towards that hill. And 2 minutes flat perfect coming out for Carnage as they win that first round. And honestly, Colin, it's to that strategy they used in the beginning. And you kind of said it as it was going on, but they sent 5 players onto the field, nobody capturing their home mill. They saw the quick adjustment from up top bunker, and all 5 members pushed onto that neutral, whether it was the plant side, the hillside, or that outside portion towards middle, and they just completely dominated. Absenz was the only player to die, and that's who spawned up, went back for their hill, and then from there, it was Carnage Gaming who had almost full control. And due to the long respawn timers, they were able to stagger the deaths of Hive until they triple cap dominated.
That was a fantastic first round by Carnage Gaming, and now they're going to come here to the second round. And I want to see if they do the same thing. I doubt they're going to send a full 5. Yeah, they're sending player number 3 over, so Feint is going to go for their home hill. And then you're going to see a 1-3-1 on the map, and it's going to be split. And once again, Hive have the numbers down here at the artillery. They're going for the early cap here at that mid-neutral hill to try to put pressure onto Carnage Gaming. Dyslexic still alive. Lancer angles come through. Absenz is there as well. Demise can't get the down on him. They got to find this kill. They find 1. They find 2. Hive are off to the races with 2 dead already, but it is evened right back up. It is 3v3 on the map, and Demise has to be careful not to get rotated on by Shockwave, and he is not paying enough attention. He probably isn't wearing his Astros PR because he'd have heard him coming down them steps.
I mean, if he needs a pair, I got 1, 2, 3 right in front of me alone. The rest are under the bed. So I got enough pairs to supply the whole community at this point. But Tidy probably has Astros as he repositioned quick as soon as he heard that push come right at him. 3 players pushing up. Bgod goes down early. He's finally going to get eliminated here. Hive is going to keep the hill under their control. And I was going to say something earlier about Demise getting that double kill before he was taken down. Off the back of Demise again. In map number 2, these initials were all Hive. On that round, it was Hive again. It was because of Demise's double kill. So when you're looking at somebody, who do I watch on initial? I want to make sure to watch Demise, but this is the mid game. The rotation's got to come through from Carnage, and they're just seemingly not finding that opening.
They are definitely not finding any openings to play with in this setup. Dyslexic rotating around the bottom of the bunker building. You see Hive is losing control over the B hill now. It's going to go right back into favor of Carnage if they can win one set of fights here. Hive does have the point lead, though, so Carnage is not in the driver's seat. They're on the back foot. Solurs will go down now. 1 kill for Absenz. The flash comes through. They get it down. They're not going to be able to clean that up exactly. Bgod steps up and gets another one. They step back up and get a third. Once again, Hive is not able to close rounds out here. They're not able to win consecutive fights on bunker to keep the pressure onto Carnage Gaming. And I think that's going to be Demise trying to either rotate through the middle of the bunker or all the way across the home. He's going to get stopped and dropped right here in the middle. He's going to have to pick one fight, and he ends up winning it before getting taken down by Shockwave.
And that was so huge because he bought his team so much time. Look at the win condition at the top. 2 hills in favor of Carnage, and Hive will hold on to it, but it has to be uncontested. Bgod gets in the hill, gets it more than halfway, but gets taken out. This is not over yet. Carnage need to keep this pressure on. A couple players are there. They're up towards the front line, but with less than 30 seconds left, they want to use this time to try to get as many of their teammates over and make a last 10-second push if possible.
Here we go with that last gas push. They're going to try to get in here. Hive trying to hold on, trying to win one round here to tie it up and make it 1-1. 2 players step in. They both get taken down by Exovius. 3rd player steps in. He's taken down as well. And ladies and gentlemen, with only Absenz left alive on this side of the map, here comes Bgod to try his hand at it. It looks like, though, he will get shut down as well. A great round by Hive to answer back, but a lot of lives thrown on that one. So rounds 3 and 4 are going to be pretty interesting to me because I think I saw a lot of 2s roaming around out there in the respawn economy section.
Yep, and just like that, picture perfect defense coming out from Hive, or at least almost picture perfect, as they needed it uncontested. Bgod almost got that break, almost changed the win condition around, but that Lancer fire, that teamwork was so strong by Hive. It's like a crazy train watching this right now. It's like a proud father waiting in the wings. I do believe, what is he, on a professional COD team for his college?
Yeah, he plays for Ohio State University's COD team. So pretty impressive stuff if you ask me.
It actually pretty is. I need some Buckeye seats at a moment's notice. I gave you a shout out. Now where's my package?
There we go. You gotta get the kickback at all times. Dyslexic is going to try to rotate into this B fight. He's going to have Solurs, I believe, Tiny right in front of him along with Demise. He gets his head blown clean off, though, as he tries to rotate up over that cubby corner. And now the next person up, it's going to be Absenz, full spread out from Tiny. Will get a lot of damage onto him. They're going to try to answer back. They finally get it down there on Exovios, middle of the map. They kill him. Flashbang won't find anybody in that sector. So now they're going to try to push back against the Tide. Once again, Hive do have the 2-to-1 hill advantage, and I believe Carnage have to make a move a little quicker than they did last round because it put them too far behind to really matter in the long scheme of that round.
Nice flashbang plays, but great maneuverability by Tidy to dodge it. He's going to be able to hold his ground. Second attempt coming out from Bgod. He dodges it again. I think he might have stunned his teammate. A secondary flash coming in from Hive. Tiny staying alive. How is he doing this? Twinkle Toes is what I'm going to call him. His maneuverability right now is just insane, and he keeps it going. He chases down Dyslexic, gets that initial kill, and now there's 4 players dead at one time from Carnage. And this is where Hive makes the decision. Due to the respawn timers, they're going to choose to not push up. They're going to choose to put a little bit of pressure set up towards up top, sit in the middle down low, and I like this decision because, Colin, if they would have pushed forward, tried to go for this triple cap, they surely would have been in a pickle from the Carnage Gaming respawn members.
And that's exactly what you see, but I think one person only for Carnage Gaming has decided to respawn here, so this is going to be a pretty interesting fight coming up because only one did respawn. It's a 4v3 on the map. They're going to have a decided advantage, but I just don't know how much they're going to be able to get away with taking these fights. I think you should take each one of them as a 2v2. Try your best to come away with at least one win before you rotate over to the other one. And there's the triple cap domination ticked in by Hive. They went back-to-back rounds, and it's on the back of some fantastic plays by Twinkle Toes. I mean, just a fantastic job to stay alive for as long as he can, and actually giving his team the ability to rotate around the map however they choose.
And not only did Twinkle Toes dodge multiple flash grenades there, but he got an elimination. He stayed alive long enough. A second flash grenade from his teammates appeared, and then he went ahead and continued to dominate those players in front of him. So it didn't matter what they threw at him. He survived and made them pay. That's exactly what you want to see from one of your star players. And honestly, I've seen this from one of the first Gears of War events in Gears 5, San Diego, where this man was a force to be reckoned with.
And they continue to try their campaign here. Hive will push toward that B hill as they have in the past couple of rounds to try to put the pressure solely on to Carnage to make a secondary move once they get the point advantage. Incendiaries are out, sitting there on the hill, and I like this. They've held on to theirs long enough, and now they're going to throw it back. They're not going to give them any way to rotate into that hill, and here comes the flank out. Shockwave trying to get the down on Exovios, which he does. Andy cleans it up. Good job by Carnage already to answer back in this round and try to take control over this mid-artillery fight.
Oh, there we go. Tiny does it again. My bad. Twinkle Toes does it again. This man, I almost want to see the camera on him every time he should die. Only when he's about to die, because I feel like he's going to have what it takes to get out alive. And here we go. It's going to be up to Carnage Gaming here. They're going to have the lead taken from them for just a few seconds, but that gives them a cushion to respawn, get back on the field. You see 3 players making their way over towards this side of the map. They're funneling these players from Hive towards this middle part of this hop-up. They get the flash. He can't dodge them all, but this is where you get the elimination and put Absenz in his grave.
Beautifully done. Tidy and Twinkle Toes still staying alive here at the artillery, bouncing back and forth. He has 2 more players in front of him. They played out the first shot. I think they're trying to find the opening. They're probably drop a flash in his lap, or maybe even try to rotate all the way around on him. They finally push him out as they get the secondary angle. Twinkle Toes down. Backside of the bunker building. He will shoot out to the...
And this is where Dyslexic here.
I gotta stop being so excited.
It happens, man. I mute my button out of the blue. I talk for 30 seconds just to realize none of it was heard. But Dyslexic, he needs to be the voice Carnage Gaming needs. Bgod's gonna get one on the flank. They're gonna force Shock back. Dyslexic is continuing to hold his ground, and now he's gonna try to take some of this positioning away from Hive. But they have a lead to overcome. In just a few seconds, that will be the case. Solar gets caught out of position. Fate go ahead and dies. Demise ends up in a 1v2 situation. He gets taken down. The turnaround shot misses. Shock takes out one. He actually saved Demise. They're doing it again. Hive is making it happen on this tiebreaker map.
Big plays by Hive here. Shock over the top, pulls the snub, tries to check out who could be in the area. Solurs will pick up that next incendiary. Dyslexic gets called out, though. There's somebody behind him. They're going to be able to lancer him from a couple of multiple angles. They're going to have the first down. Demise tries to roll up. Another shot on, gets the kill. Now it's up to Shockwave to try to survive. He gets one shot on and a second down. Demise has gotten 2 to his name. Pushes the third when he knows he's full red, but he takes the chance anyway. Incendiary's out by both teams. Nobody finding a death for this one. There's the retake of the B Hill. 20 seconds though, and Carnage still ties this bad boy up going into the second half, 2-2. Bgod top of the bunker building. He's going to see everybody rotate around him. They're going to get the revives, and I think Bgod's going to go for that mid-neutral hill, and here comes Demise to fight the 1v1 over there, but they still have to break in. They still have to get a decap at that A hill if they want to try to get back into this round. Tobios tries his hand, but it is not enough. It is not in time. Carnage Gaming tie it up 2-2 going into the second half.
Yep, and this is what we've expected to see after 2 close maps between these 2 teams. I said it early on, these play styles are very matched down the middle. Our analysts picked Hive, but a couple of them did say if Carnage Gaming was going to win, it was going to be in a 2-0. So if it did go a third map, they all predicted Hive, and so far we've seen Hive come out on top in a lot of these exchanges, but it's still tied 2-2 going into the half. But it's not how you start, it's how you finish, and we've seen Carnage Gaming come back in the second half a few times already.
ABC always be closing. They got to close out these next couple of rounds. There it is, ladies and gentlemen, the drop shot at that artillery. It's going to be a very interesting next couple of fights down here. I'll be curious to see what they decide to do and how they decide to rotate out here. Maybe Carnage goes with that same first round pick that they went with, where they sent 5 over the top, but they in fact don't do that. Hive once again rotate through that mid bunker area. Like that play by them. They're going to try to get the Lancer angles out. Nobody has the pick on the drop just yet because this is basically a secondary initial. Nobody will be able to get anything. Absenz does pick it up. Unsure if he was able to hide it on his back before he gets taken down. But here comes the rest of the members of Carnage Gaming into the area. Xovios is going to be shot on in the back pretty hard, pretty intensely before getting any help in this fight. So Dyslexic will still be alive with the artillery. And it looks like Carnage Gaming is going to try to come away with this drop shot.
Yeah, I don't like that instant Xovios threw early on. Players from Hive are falling. That was one of those in-the-moment plays. You might have had something planned, but you changed up in the moment based off what you saw. It doesn't work out for you because he chucked that instant, and then he put himself in harm's way shortly afterwards instead of trying to play to the whole situation. Solurs now backed up towards the top side. They're trying to funnel this. They're trying to get the hill. No trades coming through. Fate and Carnage Gaming are going to shut him down. They're going to get 2 hills, and because of that early capture to start the game that Hive did not get, they're going to have a 75+ point lead and 2 hills before Hive even scores 1 on the board.
See what Hive has to do here. They have to basically overcome a point deficit and a huge one at that, almost 100 points already, to try to come back into this round. And they're going to have to start it and be very careful as well, because you see Absenz is just holding that drop shot out. He knows what his job is now. It's to get any pick or any elimination possible. And I like that he knows that that's all his job really is at this point. If he gets any kills and he gets 1, he already wraps it up. That's a good job. That's going to help them very heavily defensively going into the latter parts of this round, especially because they're going to cross the 150-point threshold. And PR, he's still got 1 rocket in his pocket to come away with.
I just want him to be stingy with this one. I don't want him to be too stingy to where him and his teammates die on a final push, but like that right there where Solurs gets 2, oh no. Oh no, I said be stingy, not dumb with that drop shot, but Absenz been showing up all day long. He's allowed 1 mistake here, but in this later portions, the second half, map number 3, that's not when you want to make a mistake. Bgod throwing that instant, he's just trying to block off a full-on passageway and maybe get a kill in the process, but he's getting chased down. They take him out. The rest of Hive, they're like bees. They're swarming this beehive, and they absolutely need to, or they're going to lose. This score, over 100+ point lead, but Carnage towards the back end, they're going to get that elimination, but that's Xovios. He wins that fight, so it's all in front of us right here, Colin. Another elimination going down. Twinkle Toes does it. He's going to go ahead and keep that meat show, continue to put out that fire along with one of his teammates. They actually have a triple cross. I love the setup right now from Hive. They're not letting anybody through. They're getting these eliminations first, and now they're going for a break. In the last seconds of this one, Hive has committed robbery. They have arm robbed Carnage away from that round win and slipped it out from under them.
Normally, it's your catchphrase to say you got to dial 1-800-GO-DAZED, and now your catchphrase is call 911, get an APB out. All police bulletin. Hive is on the loose. They have committed grand larceny because they set the house that Carnage Gaming built on their home hill on fire. They burnt that sucker to the ground. And now they got a 3-2 lead going into these last few rounds. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the tail of the tape. Every time Hive thinks that they have a lead, Carnage Gaming finds the answer to come back. I'll be very curious to see what exactly they do, how exactly they rotate around here, because this is going to get dicey every single round as we go forward, especially with the respawn economy. If you continue to lose lives early in the round, you're not going to have many to come back with.
Got a change of strategy coming out though, Colin. This is the second half already. The hills have changed, but the drop shot stays down low. Hive switches up. They go for the early point lead, and they're hoping to keep Carnage Gaming off of this drop shot by Teamfire, by Lancer. And so far, honestly, it's working. They kept Absenz out of position again. This is the second consecutive round I see it happen. Luckily for Carnage, Bgod does get that trade on Demise. Solurs goes down. Shock falls as well. Shockwave does not use that instant smart play. He's going to get the drop shot as well, so they have a whole arsenal of weapons to tie this one up.
Let's see what they do here. As you see all of Carnage Gaming kind of stacked up. There's the quick pick. Feint will go down, but he's not going to get killed off. Bgod in the bottom of the bunker building will not give up any kind of positioning to be able to Lancer him out. Feint now, reloading that drop shot, reloading his snub. They're going to continue to try to get marks on him. Feint will basically run back to his side of the map to try to get sights lost on him. Dyslexic just holding down the top bunker fight. I think we need to keep our eyes over there on Absenz, because Absenz now has the drop, and they're going to rotate him into that bunker fight to try to stop them from getting a break on E. And that is him right there on your screens, ladies and gentlemen. Absenz will have a look over and be able to survey the land no matter where you go if you're Hive. He's got 2 drops to try to get quick kills on you. 1 out. Long range over on a Shock, misses. That's a terrible first drop, if you ask me. He's got 1 more to work with. He's going to try to use it. No, he doesn't go for the extra
Trade the drop away.
So good job to put it away and try to save it.
Put it away, trade it away, give it to anybody else. After that first drop and now this one, I don't think Absenz is that guy with the drop shot. He's a massive slayer with the shotgun. I would love to see him on the field. Second drop shot going out. It does connect though. Nice active reload. He does take out Solurs. So maybe I was a little bit wrong on him not necessarily being the guy with the drop shot, but this is what those moments are for, Colin. For these players to prove everyone wrong, even us while we're casting them right live while it's happening. Shock gets the instant to try to block off the passageway, gets the down, unable to clean it up, and just like that, in a blink of an eye, Carnage ties this one up again.
Carnage will tie it right back up. Round number 6 in the books to them. Best of 3 at this point, PR. First team to win 2 rounds is going to be able to come away with this map 3 and the victory for their team. A complete turnaround from that last round. I mean, Hive was doing a fantastic job coming back and winning on the home hill of Carnage and really putting them down and keeping them down for such a long time at their own home hill. Going to be curious to see what they do here. Loadout utility placed for Hive, so they've evened things up in the loadouts and on the incendiary. Still going to be big team fights over that drop shot. Curious to see who will come away with the victory there. Everybody rolls out of spawn right now. 3-3 tied up, round number 7. Here we go to the bunker fight. That drop shot ever looming at artillery, PR.
And I like it, though, because of where that flash is placed, there's no real advantage for either team on this initial. This is a bare bones brawl when it comes to most of it as well, due to it being mostly utility that you can almost spawn with. That instant, yes, going to play a difference, and there goes the first one. Shockwave getting first blood, but the players of Hive, they're going to match it. 4 players dead on the side of Carnage, and there goes the drop shot in the hand of Absenz, the lone hero, the man that can hold on to this round and buy some time. First drop shot going out. That one's going to connect. Second one going out. That one's not going to connect, though, but he gets the reaction shot. I told you, Colin, this man is a legend with his shotgun. I really want to see him put it to use just a little bit more, but I will say congratulations to him, buying his team some time, staving off that push from Hive, and allowing his team to 1 more chance back into this one.
We're going to slide back into this fight up here at the E Hill. Shock is being crossed out by 2 different angles. Absenz on the backside of the boxes will not get taken down. He's going to bounce toward the side of Hive. Not going to be able to go up the stairs just yet. He stays in that corner. Once again, Carnage Gaming's revive game is second to none. The way that they're there to pick their teammates up, There are so many times where getting a revive is almost not beneficial because of how it basically guarantees one of you to die. It seems like Carnage Gaming gets away with more revives than any other team on the circuit, and it's what keeps them in these fights and in these rounds that much longer. They get the retake on that mid-neutral hill. They now have the 2-to-1 hill advantage. Absenz underneath, still has the drop. I don't believe he has any shots left in it, so we're gonna have to set up over the secondary drop shot and see if Hive can come back in this one. If I'm Hive, though, it looks like they might overload the bottom of the bunker building of Carnage Gaming, trying to get pressure onto them at their home hill to try to pull them away from that bunker. It's going to be Shock first to the fight, though. A couple of Lancer shots out, a couple of marks as well. Unsure if they know how many people are in the area or how many they have to worry about or contest with. Xovios is going to get marked out and pushed off. Absenz will be at the home hill of Carnage by himself. And Bgod didn't miss a Lancer bullet right there, and he's gonna continue not to miss a Lancer bullet. Solurs eats a shot and goes right into Absenz's chest and takes him out. Beautiful job by him to even things up, but now the breaks come through in multiple areas. Shock trying to make a miracle happen, throws the incendiary, but won't connect with anybody in PR. The love comes out in Carnage. They're feeling themselves.
But don't count your eggs before they hatch. This is basically still a best of 3 when it comes to rounds, and Carnage is the one leading these rounds. Demise goes in. He takes a ton of damage from that incendiary grenade, but completes the decap. That's going to be huge from Hive because they have 25 plus seconds to overcome the push towards the top side, and Demise gets that elimination from the low with the Lancer. Shockwave needs to put some sort of pressure next time he sees that one coming, but towards the low side, it's going to be Shockwave and Absenz trying to put that pressure I was talking about. The 2v1 works out. They're going to get this hill while Hive overextends. That's going to be tidy. Tweakletoes himself, he's going to have to make these plays because they will not come back with 2. That's 1 kill for him with that instant, but it's going to have to come with more. He needs to get more, but he's going to be the only one here. His teammates are not going to respawn. They're conceding this round away. So in order for Hive to win this matchup, we're going to have to see a round number 9.
We're gonna have to go and see round number 9. Indeed, most likely. Another kill comes through. Carnage gets the 4-3. Hive has to figure out how to get this initial into their favor. That's a couple of rounds in a row that they continuously lose the initial. They have to stop having to fight from behind, because what they don't understand, or what is being completely exploited, is the fact that once Carnage wins that power weapon, they're able to rotate around, they continue to revive each other out. Hive aren't getting these kills, and they're having to play from 30, 40, 50-point deficits. It's just really hard to come back against. And Carnage Gaming are proving that you can still wolfpack around the map, still revive your teammates, and still come away with these round wins.
Now, I know the Latin American roots run deep with Gears of War, but I feel like all of Carnage played Gears 2 simply because of that revive game you were talking about. In the Gears of War 2, it was X before you shoot. If you shoot before you revive your teammate, you're dropped.
Immediately.
Yeah, instantly. But now into this one. This is a big round for Hive here. Tournament winners bracket lives land on the line. Xovios is going to get that drop shot. Almost getting first blood on Absenz. He gets taken out. Dyslexic is getting over aggressive. Solurs catches him slipping. That's going to be a 2-piece for Solurs, and he continuously rotates over. He doesn't want to let these opportunities slip by. Another down coming through from Fate, and guess who's waiting for that moment? It is Solurs yet again. Puts out a ton of damage, forces them back, and now he retreats. But he doesn't retreat because he's scared. He's making the smart play of making sure his team gets that second hill under their control because they have a little bit of an early lead to overcome here.
You get the revive off there onto Demise before he goes down. Xovios will have the drop, but meanwhile, Tidy has lost at the home hill to home hill push. And here comes the flank. Absenz will be followed by Shockwave into the area. Drop shot out.
Oh, no. No, 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 no.
No. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Buddha. Oh, everybody. Anybody.
Oh,
somebody.
What a deflator.
Get on the phone, PR.
Like a needle to a balloon.
You know who you need to call.
I need to call 1-800-GO-DAZE to come sub in for Hive after that one. There goes the triple cap domination. Carnage Gaming close it out thanks to the help of Xovios. We knew we should have kept Noey in this one, but congratulations to Carnage Gaming for completing the map number 3 victory.
What an absolutely fantastic showing by Carnage Gaming. Coming back, they never felt down and out of it at all, even after that map 2 loss. Carnage Gaming always found a way to get back into this one and continue to fight against the tide of Hive. And really the sealer, the deal breaker for Hive, no matter how good they had played up to this point. Xovios said, I really like how you guys are fighting that shotgun fight. But I really enjoy how you guys are not about to be fighting that shotgun fight. And then he kills two of his best friends.
Just one of those plays, man, that you're just shaking your head over, that you can't let down. It's one of those plays where it's like, I really just choked the game away. I know sometimes after losses, we hate to say a team choked, but if there's any example of a choke, it's right there. You better open up your video dictionary and you'll see that clip play.
If you open up the video dictionary of choke, it's just going to be that. We're going to replays, and I've got a feeling I know what the last replay of this matchup's going to be. I got a distinct feeling, PR, because we're going to get to see some fine plays from guys like Absenz and Tidy and other guys around the map like Dyslexic and Solurs and Demise. And I mean, they're all going to have some pretty fantastic highlight reels coming up here. But I get the feeling the last thing we're going to see on our screen is not something that anybody wants to see.
It's just really unfortunate, too, because you saw him that last highlight. He was going off. He was making plays. He got triple kills. He was making sure that his teammates also stayed alive, and he was back rolling, pulling out his Lancer like I've never seen him before. It's just unfortunate that when you have that big opportunity to make a play, you have the game in your hands, you could become a superstar, Michael Jordan of sorts, and then you end up being Charles Barkley.
I'm sorry. I had to go look at chat to see what Blaze thought about that play. He just periods, just ellipses, basically. The silence, the shock, the stun, just everything about that reaction pretty much encapsulates how I felt about it when I first saw it come over my screen. Here's the Absenz, though. Great plays by him all game long. And there's the revive game I was talking about for Carnage. It was on point. I mean, I am shocked at how well that revive game is really playing.
Oh, God. No.
Oh, God.
Can we slow it down one more time? The
best part is that he throws the second one out to literally no avail.
I'm going to have to go back and watch that one because it's like, I want to know, were his teammates down already and he was trying to clean up kills? Because I'm looking at that situation, I'm replaying it in my head, and it's like, why on God's green earth? Why in the alien space? Why in anything would you even shoot that drop shot in that direction, a close-quartered area where a shotgun fight is going off? What is going through your head right now?
Donkey. Look, I'm going to tell you, as soon as they come back and they can see my face, PR, so you know what I'm trying to say to you. The only person that has an answer for why you would shoot that drop shot is Donkey Kong from Super Smash. When he goes, he doesn't know. Nobody knows. The end.
Oh, man. It's just one of those moments that it's going to kick you. You're going to honestly remember that for the rest of your Gears of War days. But it's also something that can use to fuel you through your loser's bracket because it's not over just yet. You just get dropped down low. Your backs are up against the wall, and now your teammates are looking at you. I know Hive likes to play games and they like to jokingly point fingers at each other, but this one's a real finger point, and now the pressure is on you as an individual to make up for one of the biggest blunders of the tournament so far.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it, PR. Carnage Gaming, they continue to fight back. They come back in map number 3 after coming back in map number 1, winning it 2-1 over Hive. They get the victory here in our broadcast, but we got more games stacked up, ready to go, and lined up for all of you at home. That's going to happen right after this quick commercial break.